Hi team, it's Chris here. Hey, look, I just wanted to walk through really quickly how to set up theming like dark mode, light mode within Toddle. Recently, I shared a design I whipped up in Toddle, and someone said, "Hey, do you think you could do a light mode version of this as well?" And I thought, you know what? I should have really set something up at the start to make this really easy for me. And basically, by utilizing a root element and having the styling change on that, I could then basically apply it throughout the rest of my design. Um, so in this case, what I'm going to do is just kind of walk you through how I would do it. There's quite a lot of different ways you could actually do this within Toddle, but in my case, all I'm simply going to do is just make a really straightforward and simple toggle switcher within Toddle. So as you can see, I've got my design here. By default, Toddle sort of gives you like this more dark mode look. So I'm going to set this sort of like as my default. But what I'm wanting to do is on this page, I'm wanting to set a variable and I'm going to call it the variable theme. Okay. And the initial value is going to be dark. So this is what's going to change depending on what this is. Now, the cool thing about setting something like this up is there's only really two things that we're going to need to do. One is just change the value for this theme. And then the next thing would be to set up a class for that particular theme. And that means that you can have as many themes as you like. So, we could have dark, we could have sepia, we could have Dracula. But I'm just going to start with the simple dark and light mode for now. And I'm going to give you a demo of how this would work. So I'm going to use the root element. I'm going to set a class, and this class I'm going to call dark. And then I'm going to set up another one as well called light. And then what I might do, just to give you an example, is I might use Dracula as well. Okay. So what we're going to do is for each of these classes, we're going to enable or disable them based on what this variable is set to. Okay. So let's go away and go for dark. You can see that the output, we want a Boolean value, so true or false. That will represent if this will be utilized or switched on or not. So we're going to say something very simple. If the theme equals dark, then set this to true so that this will turn on. Let's actually go back into this, and I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to paste it here. And then I'm going to say if it's light. Now, the reason why we're seeing the value dark here is because remember we're using the variable. And this variable I've hard-coded to be dark right now. So that's why no matter whenever we use this variable, we're always going to see the value dark. But I'm going to say, hey, if the theme is dark, if the theme is equal to light, this should be true. But it's not because it's dark, so it's false. And that's fine. Let's come back. And then we're going to say, hey, if this is equal to Dracula, then enable this one. So now that that's done, we need to, you can see here that the div is set to dark. So if I come to the theme and I change this to Dracula, that means the theme variable is changed, so the div is also changed. The class is now changed to Dracula. So that's pretty cool. We can set conditions like, if they mistype something and say like sepia result to dark kind of thing. But for now, we're just going to keep it dark and go to the styling pane, and we're going to go to style, and we're going to add 3 styles to our root element. 3 classes, sorry. So we're going to add dark. We're also going to add light, and we're also going to add Dracula. So let's just do something really basic. So for dark, I'm going to want the font color to be gray 50, and I'm going to want the background to be 900. Okay. So those are the 2 settings, and I've already got these kind of set up in here. So by default, I'm just going to say, hey, inherit from your parent. which is going to be there. And for this, we're also going to say, hey, inherit from your parent. So that is all good. Let's now go and set the styling for light. The color of the font, we're going to want to be 900. And then the background, we're going to want to be 50. Now, the thing that you're going to notice is since I've got this light class selected, it's showing me what that would be like. Even though if I click out of it, it's actually still dark. The only reason why you're seeing the light is because I'm selecting it so I can edit it. And then for Dracula, let's say the background, let's do like, where's purple? Let's say like purple 900. And then let's set the font color to be, I'm pretty sure it's like green, right? So let's say that. Cool. So now that that's set, the next thing that we're going to want to do is just let's actually add a let's wrap this in a div and put you in there as well. Actually, let's put that back up here. And then within that div, we're also going to have a button. Let's just center everything, and then we'll give it like 1 rem space between everything. And then what we'll do is we'll set the button value to be the theme. So we can see it's currently saying dark. And then the what should we do for the button to make it look a little bit different? Let's just leave it like that actually for now. Oh no, actually, yeah, we'll just leave it like that. So the one thing that we're going to want to do is set an event on this button that when you click on it, it's going to set the theme. So for now, I'm just going to switch it between dark and light mode. So we're going to set the theme. What we're going to do is we'll use an if. Let's get rid of this. So if the theme is equals dark, light, and then we'll just leave that. So what we're saying here is if the theme is currently dark, so if it equals dark, that's true. So set it to light then. So what that means is when we come and click on it, you'll see that that's changing, and you can see that all kind of updating dynamically as well. So that's cool. One thing that we may want to do here is let's come back to the styling and then set the transition on everything. So this will now transition. Actually, I wonder if I set that on the default. Yeah, if that will apply to all of them. It does. Excellent. So that's pretty much how simple it is. Let's turn that off. Let's make another button and put it next to it. What is going on here? I don't want it to be. Hold on a sec. Let's just put this below. Yeah, okay, great. And this button is just going to be called Dracula. And for Dracula, we're going to set the color to be, can't remember what I did, but let's just go there, and the background to purple. That's really not good. And then we can set this button here to be an on click that will set the theme, and then we're just going to say Dracula. And there you go. So we can switch between light and dark, or we can switch to Dracula. And you can see how this makes theming and things, very flexible. And the great thing about it is now that we've got that set on the parent, we can then go through and sort of utilize those styles settings that we have on the parent throughout the rest of our page. So hopefully this gives a little bit of insight on how this would work. Just a quick little thing, and a big shout out to No Code Pro Code as well. He had another different version of doing this. I just wanted to kind of elaborate a little bit more on what he was doing, and probably a slightly different way. This is how I would do it. But yeah, happy toddling.